We had a mystery on our hands this week. The scholars in this room are the crew of this mighty ship, the Envisioneer. While we were looking for the treasure, an important part of our map went missing. We considered 4 suspects. Today you will hear the evidence against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff. Hello, we are Medical Examiner Group A, and we will be showing how the splint was put on when some of the crewmates got fractured limbs.
So she grabbed the splint, she wrapped it around underneath, and then she made me grab it. Then she did the same thing to the top. Then she grabbed the bandage and wrapped it around so it doesn't get loose or anything.
We also had to do the ankle and neck.
For the ankle, she wrapped around the splint, then she wrapped it around with the bandage. Then, for the neck, she made a chin rest so my chin doesn't get uncomfortable. Then, she wrapped it around with a bandage.
As a result, we were able to control the situation and nothing else was damaged.
Today we will be talking about a lung model, and the reason we're doing this is because someone on the ship had a collapsed lung, and we want to see what a healthy lung looks like and how it functions.
So we made a lung model using clay, straw, cup, a rubber band, and a balloon, and another balloon. So we use the straw as a trachea, we use the cup as the rib cage, we use the balloon as a lung, and we use the rubber band to tie it around. So we use the clay so no air could escape, and this rubber band on the bottom, balloon, is the diaphragm. So what the diaphragm does is it helps the lung breathe. If there's a collapsed lung, you can still pump, but you won't get the same amount of air, and it has to pump harder.
Hi, we are the Engineering Specialist Group, and we will be talking about how and why we built the robot. So, the reason we built the robot was to find the missing crew members. And how we built the robot was we took this big metal piece, which is the chassis and the base. We screwed the motors in and then screwed the nuts on. Then we put screwed the tires into the motors so the tires would move. Then we put on the front wheel so it would have some kind of support at the front. And next you will learn how we coded the robot.
So, we coded the robot because we needed to reach the other people on the island who we could not reach by foot. So we coded it to follow the specific directions like moving forward, turning right, and doing other things. We used the platform Blockly to do this. After that, we also used the robot to get to the other side of the island. But in order to do that, we had to use the bridge.
We built a truss bridge because there was a recent flood and we needed to get food from the other side. We got the food by making the bridge wide enough for the M block to cross and come back safely.
We built the bridge by using straws and paper clips. So we took a straw, and then we took a paper clip and we bent the paper clip into kind of an L shape, and then we connected one end of the straw to another end of a different straw, and then as you can see we made these triangles. We made 4 of them, and then a square on the top, and then the bottom is basically just squares, and then we added paper and tape to stick it together. And we used these triangle shapes because they are the best base the best supportive base. And as you can see, we're gonna test it out right now. And the results, as you just saw, successful. And so we got our food safely, and that was our presentation.
Hello, we are Medical Examiner Group B, and today I'll be talking about the heart dissection we did on Wednesday. The reason we did the heart dissection is because people on the ship were having heart problems, so we used a calf's heart to see what was wrong and what we could do to help. We also learned about what causes and what happens during a heart attack.
And I'm going to tell you more about heart attacks. How a heart attack happens is when your heart stops beating because an artery is blocked up with plaque. They can be prevented by getting plenty of exercise and maintaining a healthy diet. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about snake bites. There are two types of toxic snakes: neurotoxic, which messes with your nerves, and hemotoxic, which messes with your blood.
I'm going to be telling you more about what the hemotoxic and neurotoxic venom does. Neurotoxic venom makes your nerves slow down and stop working, and hemotoxin makes your blood clog up and get stuck. This is what happens when hemotoxin is in your blood. We use cow blood, lemon juice, and milk to make this mixture. And the reason we did this was because somebody on the ship was bitten by a hemotoxic snake, and Dr. Smart lied about which type of snake it was. Dr. Smart said it was a neurotoxic snake, but it was actually a hemotoxic snake. And that is our presentation.
Hello, we are the blood splatter analysis group, and we tested when blood falls from specific heights. Here is an example from when we did this. As we tested it, we dropped calf blood from 66 inches, 30 inches, and 12 inches.
We did this because 3 out of 4 of the crew members got injured, and we need to know whose blood it is. After we found the averages, we think that it is Dr. Smart's blood because it came from about 30 inches. And that lines up with his wrist injury.
And to back this up, we found this at the scene of the crime. Hi, we are the forensic scientists, and we are testing white powders and we are fingerprints. So the white powders are cream of tartar, baking soda, powdered sugar, cornstarch. Our suspects are Dr. Nicholas Smart, narrator Howard Potter, first mate Sidney Young, and shipwright Robert Neff. So the texture, they're all soft, and some have small, like pebbles, but they're soft. And smell, some of them just smell nothing, some of them just smell like a gas station. So baking soda, you pour it in the vinegar, it fizzes up. And then for cornstarch, you put iodine in it, it hardens. Same with the mystery powder.
I will be presenting how we revealed the fingerprints and what tools we used. We used cocoa powder to reveal the fingerprints and a magnifying glass to see them better.
I will be presenting on what we found out with the cocoa powder and the mystery powder. So what we found out with the cocoa powder was of who took the map piece. The fingerprints were Dr. Smart's and Neff's. What we found out with the mystery powder was that cornstarch mixed with water creates a neutral base, which is safe for the skin and makes a good ointment. And since Dr. Smart is a doctor, he would be the only one to use it. Based on all the evidence that our STEM group has submitted, we believe Dr. Smart and shipwright Neff are guilty of stealing the ancient map.